we're going to continue on. Where we're going to go?
We're going to go to Leave It in the Car.
Baby, can we talk?
About what, Rick?
About last night.
Are you referring to you trying to force yourself on me?
Brenda, that wasn't what I was trying to do. I wanted to make love to you, and you kept denying me.
Rick, I said I was tired. I did not want to make love, but you continued to touch me and tried to force the issue.
Doesn't a husband have the right to make love to his wife when he wants to?
Not if she tells him no. Rick, what you were doing was a form of rape.
Rape? Are you serious? You are my wife.
Wife or not, when a woman doesn't consent, even during intercourse, anything after that is considered rape.
Something about that doesn't seem fair. How can I be sure that you're not consenting as my wife?
You can be sure if I don't say no.
Something still doesn't seem right about that. When does no expire? Let's just leave it in the car.
Rick, I really think this subject has been in the car far too long. It's time to open the windows and talk.
Yeah, you might be right.
All right. And so we ain't going to go around the room and see if that's live or Memorex, because that ain't live at all. So that's a rehearsed skit. That's what that was. But
it's rehearsed, but it's so often a real situation with couples.
That is true. I mean, you don't. And I think one of the things I was looking at is that the fact, Brenda was saying, no means no. And I think a lot of times men don't understand that is the case, that even if I'm married, she can still say no. We're beating this, what they call beating the drums, or beating this to the ground, as I would say.
Mm-hmm. The dead drum.
Yeah. So, we're working on this as hard as we can to let people know that even happens in a relationship. But I took a little twist on this part because, I was talking to Brenda. I was saying, you need to fine tune the law, because when does no has an expiration date? Because what has happened in a lot of cases that men are afraid of is that a woman might be able to go and say that she's been raped 2 or 3 days later, and she consented to it then, and he thought he consented to it, and he didn't know that was the case. And so how do you get that fine line? I'm not saying, hear me good, ladies, I'm not saying that a man should find a way to find out if rape is acceptable, but I'm saying there are cases where women have gotten angry at a man and used that situation to say, I've been raped, in a situation that's beneficial for them, and it diminishes the power of what rape means. And so how do I know when that expiration time is after I've made love to you, that you can go now and say, well, I was traumatized and I didn't want to say anything about it. That's why it took me a while to go say something. How does a man know? And so I think that's kind of an issue that some men think about sometimes, is how will I know that what I've done has not been what she considered forced after something? Because something can happen. They argue with each other, and then all of a sudden, she's at the police, and if they come to your house because somebody says rape, they kick you to jail. And so it's kind of like a fine line that I don't know where it can be, where you can kind of get it to a point where pinpoint what is, really rape with a relationship.
It's like that sexual harassment. When do you cross that line?
Right. And so it's very important that we understand, ladies, that rape, the word rape is not something you use because you're angry. If you were raped, then go and let the authorities know that you've been raped. But if you're angry because of a relationship that you have, please don't diminish the word, the power behind that word, that women are working so hard to get the government to believe in, that even now in the 50 states that we have, rape, like the one woman was saying that when she went there, Ashley was saying it's like, it was more traumatic talking to them because they were talking about they're gonna, we're gonna put you in jail for false rape. I mean, to even say that, I mean, you're trying to. They may have been trying to find out if she was telling the truth, but to say that is kind of demeaning to what actually happened. And so We want to make sure that we're doing that because that's what happened and not trying to treat it as some kind of a power over someone if they don't do something what you want to do. You got anything to say, babe?
I would have too much to say regarding this, but
Well, can you say a little?
actually, no. I want to take a pass on it because it triggers something with me with my past and stuff. So I'll take a pass on this.
Okay. Tracy, you want to add anything before we go on?
I mean, like you say, it's such a thin line that, we as women, like you said, have to be honest and truthful and brave enough to step forward when something happens. And, men have to be careful and honest enough to admit when a woman doesn't want to be with them, just don't be with them. So it's such a touchy situation. So, be very careful about even putting yourself in those situations.
Yeah. And for men, if one doesn't want to make love to you, first get married and find someone else. That's what the preacher would say.
Right. I agree.
So that was Leaving in the Car today, just basically talking about even in marriage, there has to be a consent to any kind of relationship with your wife. And if she says no, that means no. So, baby, where are we going to go to next?